through understanding the breaches for the sell side. Okay, I'm going to give you an aha moment in this as well, because I know where a lot of the problems are coming in, and this is going to solve that problem. Okay, so watch very carefully and be patient, and monitor the time where your brain flares up and says, but Naveen, just slow down and just keep very close track of when that moment comes in when your brain goes, oh, I have to ask a question, and I'm going to answer that automatically. Go through the entire video and then tell me if you still have a question. Okay, and then obviously below the video in the comments section, it's all there. We're here to help you. So let's go through this piece by piece first. Okay, so on the sell side, imagine if you're selling from here, okay, where my mouse is. You're selling from here, and in this sell area, prices reach till this lowest point. Now that lowest point is now your threshold. Boom, right there. Okay, until that threshold is not broken, there is no breach. Markets start to go down, 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 no breach yet. Okay, what would you say now? Is that a breach? Okay. As of right now, yes, that's a breach. It's breaking that barrier that we've had. Okay. We're going to keep going. Down, down. Okay. And then we had an area where the market is causing a problem, right? That speed bump, or that area where our big boy seller is slowing down from selling because he's afraid of something. I know some of you supply and demand guys are like, oh, that's because there's a supply here. Calm down. You know what? Let me just do this. Okay. All right. This is where you started from. Okay. This is where you started from. Okay. So there's a reason why it stopped and pulled back here. What the reason is, we don't care. All we know is there's something there that's stopping our market. Correct? Once there's something there that's stopping our market, that becomes our area of support equals resistance that we need to monitor, because that area stopped this entire railway that was coming down at full speed, stopped it, and not just stopped it, turned it around a bit. That means there's something powerful there. And if it's something powerful there that's scaring our big boy, or has, if I may say it, the balls to stand against him, then we need to also monitor that person and be like, what is that thing? What is that price? What is it about that price that's so critical? So I'm going to keep moving it. No breach yet. Look at that. Just a poke down, right? No breach yet. Okay, no breach yet. Okay, there we go. We're starting to get a breach now. That's a breach below. Okay, we'll keep going now. A new threshold. Why? Because market seems to be holding in that area. Okay, a new threshold in this zone. Okay, it doesn't have to be exact, but in that area. We want a breach below that. Keep going, keep going. No breach yet. No breach yet. Not sure yet, because remember, it's that area. No breach yet. We're going higher. Notice now I cannot move my line. That's the lowest point. Let's keep going. No breach yet. 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 Wait a minute. Are your brains flaring up at this stage of, but Naveen, isn't it a buyer's market now? Okay, this is where everyone gets lost in this phase. They take their eye off, this is the lowest point, and they start thinking that, well, if I may do this, a trend line was broken, or the rubber band man exhausted, it must be a buyer's market, or a V formation just happened. If you don't know all these words, it will come up into your MPA course. But if you do know these words and you finish the MPA course and you're going through this again, then you will understand what I'm saying is that around this area, one might think it's back into the buy zone. Okay? And the reality is, you need to stay strict and saying that's the lowest point and I need a breach below that. Okay? You want to keep it that simple. If you're going to involve too much information, your brain is going to explode. And I'm going to explain why to you in the next set of videos, because in the next set of videos, we're going to be talking about the universe above and below. And that's going to clarify a lot of things for you in understanding of why do I still look at the sell side and not the buy side. What's going on? Why am I not concerned about, isn't this a breach to the upside instead of a breach to the downside? So in this whole case, the line goes here, and no, this is not a breach to the upside. No, it's not a breach to the upside. And no, this is not a breach to the downside. You see this little piece here? That's not a breach to the downside. It is not going to be a breach to the downside until we cross this line. Okay? That's where many of the confusion are happening. And I'm sure probably 80% of you watching this right now are saying like, that's it. That's the point where I'm making the mistakes. I'm too quick to turn to the other direction. Okay? So I'm going to keep going. So there is that one little moment that's going to make aha moments for many of you guys. For some of you guys who are a little bit more pro, that's understandable that you guys are comprehending this already. Going down more. No breach yet. No breach yet. Still no breach. Many people might jump in on this. Still no breach. Now that's a breach. Now that's an official breach, which means this area was so powerful that it held the market. This price not just held the market, it reversed the market 90%. So to break that barrier, it requires a lot of force. A lot of force. So once that force breaks down, we're like, yes, it has officially breached. Okay, so let's go forward. Now that breach area, the force required to break that, very high, right? Okay, here's another breach down here. Keep in mind, these breach areas, with the knowledge of why it's a breach, makes it a true support equals resistance. It's very powerful. These areas will hold time and time again. So this was one breach, keep that in mind. Here's another breach here because the market was coming down full-fledged. Pulled back, held, dropped again. Notice how price uses this area as resistance. Right? It used to be support, but it now uses it as resistance. However, we can't just say this area right here will be support equals resistance, or this area right, this area can, but it's not that area. It actually is because of this area. Okay, so it again, more information will be like, yeah, but Naveen, can't I go to the left even more? Yes, how much data to be used will be explained to you in the MPA course during time frames. Until then, trust me when I say just go with the breaches based on how the market is flowing. Lowest line. When it breaks it, take the line down to the next lowest spot. When it breaks it, take it down to the next lowest spot. And then say, okay, that's not a break, that's not a break, that's not a break, that's not a break. Okay, keep going. Okay, we got a breach there. But this breach there, even though it's broken down below that line, does it really look like a breach? Because we're not really clearly breaking anything. We're trying, but we can't even get below the tails. Hence, this is an area where it becomes questionable about the breach. If it's questionable, never take it as a breach. It needs to be clear enough. If it's not clear, that means it's wrong. It's that simple. If it's clear, then it's okay. There's going to be no questions about it. Okay, moving forward a little bit more. A little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, we're starting to break above this area, but it's still, the line stays here. We're going higher. Okay, there we go, starting to move up again, and we get some kind of reaction in this area, back up again. Remember this area that was quite strong when we were putting our line here? We didn't seem to struggle through it, did we, at all? Now, why not? Isn't this area important? It was very powerful for support. Maybe, why is it not powerful for resistance? Take a look here. Is it not powerful for support again? See, these areas play in a role time and time again as a sell or as a buy. These are called reaction zones. Okay, whether you want to call them true support or resistance or areas where people start emotionally reacting, these are the areas. So keep that stuff in mind, and I'm going to see you guys next week, and we're going to go over candles in a certain way where like you've never seen before. We're going to cover universe above and below, that concept. That's going to make a lot of sense to you of, Naveen, why did we not turn into a buyer here, and we kept looking at the sell and saying once this breaks below, we're going to go for the sell side. Make sense? Okay. Leave any comments below for me. If you had aha moments, leave them in the comments below. I want to see them as well. And I will see you guys next week. Cheers. Bye for now.